Millions of British drivers returning their new cars in 2026. That's the headline. The evidence behind it is worse than you think. Nearly 1 million vehicles flagged for camshaft chain failures. 72,000 cars tied to fuel pipe fires. A £7.5 billion finance scheme suspended before a single owner was paid. Ombudsman disputes climbing 14% in 1 year. The question isn't whether people are returning cars, it's whether they even can. The official paper trail begins with the Motor Ombudsman's February 2026 publication. In 2025, the body recorded 18,570 used car disputes, a 14% increase from the 16,317 complaints logged in 2024. While these cases represent 40% of the Ombudsman's total workload, they must be weighed against approximately 7.8 million UK used car transactions. That is just 0.2% of the active market, or roughly one complaint for every 420 sales. Within this specific caseload, customer service failures drove 40% of the disputes, while engine and component failures made up 35%. The published data does not provide a breakdown of final outcomes, meaning there is no official record of how many cases ended in actual physical vehicle rejection. The Ombudsman remains a bounded measuring institution rather than proof of a massive national handback wave. To define a return, legal rights must be separated from contract terms. A formal dispute remains a written complaint rather than a physical vehicle rejection. Safety recalls address defined defects, while warranty repairs are covered fixes. For a motorist we will call David, handing back a car takes several forms. Under the Consumer Rights Act, David has a short-term rejection period of 30 days for faults. Buy online, and a 14-day cancellation rule applies, but showroom buyers have no cooling-off right for a change of mind. If a fault develops later, David must accept a repair or price reduction. APCP end-of-term handback is purely a contractual choice rather than a refund, while trade-ins are commercial transfers. Any value drop is market depreciation rather than a product defect. David must deal with 3 separate targets: the dealer sells, the finance provider funds, and the manufacturer builds. In July 2025, Stellantis addressed a sweeping technical risk involving nearly 930,000 vehicles equipped with its 1.5-litre Blue HDI diesel engine. At the centre of the issue is the camshaft chain, the component that keeps engine timing synchronised. Progressive wear on this chain can cause catastrophic engine timing failures. However, this is not a mandatory safety recall. It is a service campaign, meaning eligibility is strictly restricted to specific VIN ranges. While Stellantis offers special coverage up to 150,000 miles, this protection is highly conditional. Owners must produce an immaculate service history proving the use of correct oil specifications. Reports of a factory upgrade from a 7mm to an 8mm chain still require manufacturer technical confirmation. Without a confirmed DVSA notice, UK drivers must navigate the complex boundary between a voluntary warranty extension and a genuine safety recall. In July 2025, reports surfaced of a UK-specific campaign affecting 49,060 Vauxhall models, fitted with the DV5R engine to address a camshaft chain fault. This represents a distinct British population, separate from wider European manufacturer reports, yet the official DVSA safety register contains no confirmed notice matching this exact figure or defect wording. This database gap creates a severe risk for the used market. Because secondary buyers rarely appear in original manufacturer contact databases, notification letters never reach their doorsteps. Without formal regulator documentation, owners must proactively contact dealers to verify their vehicle identification numbers. It forces buyers to determine for themselves whether a vehicle has received the completed remedy or remains an active mechanical liability. Ultimately, the burden of verification is displaced from the manufacturer onto the driver. Weeks after the camshaft chain disclosures in July 2025, a second, more urgent campaign surfaced. This separate safety file involves approximately 72,000 additional UK vehicles across 7 Stellantis brands, focusing on a defect in the fuel delivery system. According to reports, a suspect fuel pipe is prone to cracking, creating a direct link to potential engine fire incidents. Under the terms of the manufacturer-funded campaign, dealers must replace the compromised pipe and inspect the surrounding components at no cost to the driver. Yet, within the official records of the Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency, a safety campaign represents a preventive action. It flags a potential risk rather than proving that every registered car will suffer a catastrophic thermal event. For second-hand buyers, the challenge is matching their vehicle identification number to the official recall list. When manufacturers fail to locate current owners, these uncompleted remedies remain active hazards, shifting the responsibility of fire safety from the factory floor to the driveway. Commercial vehicle operators face an expensive quiet drain on their balance sheets. Nitrogen oxide sensors now rank as the most common van warranty repair in Britain, accounting for 5.3% of all claims. These components measure tailpipe pollutants and feed data to the engine control system. When they fail, the fault can stem from physical contamination, wiring defects, or corrupted software. One major warranty provider reports an average claim cost of £628.83. This figure is merely a benchmark, not a guaranteed limit, as complex diagnostics frequently inflate the final invoice. Because this component failure is treated as a standard repair rather than a safety recall, small business owners must absorb both the bill and the immediate loss of fleet downtime. The underlying data lacks a published sample size or exact study period, leaving van operators with unmapped financial exposure. In October 2023, regulatory files first flagged a potential fuel pump concern involving Toyota models in the United Kingdom. By 2025, this developed into a voluntary technical recheck targeting approximately 10,000 Auris, CHR and Corolla owners. Within official DVSA and manufacturer records, this action occupies a quiet space between a formal safety recall and a preventative customer notification. A technical recheck of this scale represents a search for engineering certainty rather than immediate proof of mechanical danger. For owners, it highlights the multi-stage nature of modern vehicle reliability, where safety is managed through ongoing vigilance, separating initial consumer concern from verified evidence of harm. The mechanical risks under the bonnet represent only half of a driver's potential exposure. For owners of early electric vehicles in the United Kingdom, the threat is entirely financial. Industry reports from 2025 and 2026 claim early electric models suffered the steepest depreciation of any car class. While this steep market correction requires independent confirmation from CAP-HPI, Auto Trader, or transparent finance data, the consequence for drivers is already clear: negative equity. This gap occurs when the outstanding finance settlement exceeds the vehicle's current market value. Personal contract purchase. Balloon values are completely distinct from live settlement figures. Because depreciation is a market force rather than a physical product defect, it does not trigger a statutory right to reject or return the vehicle. An owner with a mechanically flawless car can still face severe financial loss. Drivers are left to choose between retaining, refinancing, settling, trading, or seeking independent advice, as the investigation shifts toward legal access and finance remedies. The fight over who owns a car's data reached a critical moment on October 5, 2023, when the European Court of Justice ruled in Case C 296/22. The court declared that manufacturers cannot block independent garages from reading and writing data streams through the diagnostic port. Under UK Assimilated Law and Competition and Markets Authority guidelines, this data protection remains in force until at least May 2029. This is not a free pass to unlimited manufacturer software. True repairability requires three distinct layers: basic fault codes, diagnostic tools to bypass secure gateways, and affordable replacement parts. An independent garage acts as a reliable line of defense, diagnosing timing chain slip or faulty emissions sensors before a dealer claims a warranty is void. For drivers seeking a rejection or filing a motor ombudsman complaint, a dated diagnostic report, fault code history, and repair invoice provide essential proof. Without them, proving a defect existed at the point of sale is almost impossible. Behind the mechanical battles lies a financial dispute. In March 2026, the Financial Conduct Authority launched a consumer redress scheme for historic motor finance contracts. Initial liability estimates reached £9.1 billion, while other reports valued the intervention at £7.5 billion. However, a July 2026 upper tribunal order partially suspended the scheme following legal challenges by major lenders. This legal checkpoint delays any potential payouts, separating regulatory proposals from actual bank transfers. Drivers must recognise that redress is not a voluntary termination, a repossession, or an early settlement. A compensation claim does not require a physical handback, nor does it automatically clear an outstanding finance balance. For now, the dispute remains locked in contract archives, leaving motorists holding the debt while lenders contest the bill. Toyota, Honda, and Mazda are often described as the brands holding the line for British motorists. Yet, with no verified reliability surveys for this year, reputation cannot replace hard evidence. A complaint record alone cannot condemn a brand, but name recognition cannot replace a VIN check, service history, or written warranty terms. Drivers must compare these makes using failure rates, recall transparency, warranty responsiveness, parts availability, and independent diagnostic access. Protection requires a 5-part test covering recall status, warranty coverage, repair access, finance exposure, and resale risk. Motorists must retain diagnostic, recall, invoice, finance, and correspondence records, obtaining a settlement figure and independent advice before voluntary termination or resale. Ultimately, the data does not establish millions of physical, new car handbacks. Holding the line remains a relative risk assessment rather than a guarantee. Today, British car ownership is no longer a symbol of freedom, but a high-stakes gamble. As manufacturers shift the risks to buyers, drivers must decide who is genuinely holding the line and who leaves them stranded. What's your take? Share in the comments below.